Hi, so continuing on from yesterday, just making marks on the gel plate randomly with things that I found around the house or things that I've made out of cheap objects. I'm just going to carry on today. I'm going to work into some of the ones that I made yesterday to try to improve them. Although there's always a danger of overdoing things, which is something I do quite often. I think I just go mad and don't know when to stop. So let's start with some plastic packaging. This had Fimo in it, and I thought the shapes could be interesting, although perhaps I haven't rolled out enough acrylic onto the plate. Again, I'm just using any acrylics, any paper, although I do like thin paper when I'm just messing about. No need to spend a lot on paper when it's something that you're going to maybe rip up or stick onto something else in a collage. Okay, so I've got some National Geographic pages that I've ripped out that I thought these could be quite interesting to use. If you look closely, that's actually seagulls. So let's see what we get printing onto that. Again, when you've got a patterned background, it's probably best not to go too mad with the monoprinting onto it, because it's just kind of splodgy. Perhaps if I do that again onto just a plain white piece, you'll see what effect that will give. A bit better. I should be using a bigger roller than this. Never mind. I've got pink on this one now. Just keep using it. So this is just photocopy paper, very cheap for experiments. Perfect. Why waste your good paper? Well, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Because I didn't print into it. Lockdown's making me go a bit crazy, but I can always use it as a background. It's got some, has actually got some texture in there from previous prints. And I'm finding that I'm starting to really not concentrate while I've been at home and when I haven't been working because I was made redundant. So trying to keep myself busy with other activities that don't use too much brain power, but even this perhaps is proving a bit too much. Right, another colour in there. Let's put a bit of blue in there as well. Opaque blue. Opaque to me sounds like it should mean that it's see-through, and I don't know why it actually means the opposite. So I find the word opaque a bit confusing, although it's starting to sink in. Opposite of transparent. Okay, let's go for this piece of plastic packaging again, even though I've got loads more I can try out. I think there's going to be quite a lot of pink and blue in my artwork because I'm loving this new pink I've got. Quite interesting. You can see the sort of triangular shapes, and each time I use these I sort of think, how might I want to use these as a background, that sort of shape, perhaps for buildings or something like that. thinking I'd get some different effects, but it actually just dulled down the paint and I didn't really like it. But at this point I'm not throwing anything away, still giving everything another chance. See, that looks better, but I think that would need more stenciling or something in a darker colour. And then let's just pick that bit up onto the one I'm rolling onto. Actually pick that up on the edges here and here. I like that effect. Not sure how well you can see that. And then again the other side. That actually looks better off camera than it does on camera. Perhaps I can go close up. There's a bit there that I'm not keen on, it's all splodgy, so maybe I can get one of the circles. And that's quite well hidden it, and these pink splodges are a bit much. I might use them just to break them up a bit. Okay, back to texture plates. Now this is a polishing, some sort of polishing surface that I found in my husband's toolbox, and although he thinks I'm mad, he let me have it. I do try to explain what I'm doing, but I don't think he really gets it. Oh, that looks good. Don't know how well you can actually see it from there. You can just about see the impression, I think. Almost looks like a mosaic. That looks good on there. I like that effect. And then over here, this is to keep your chips from sticking when you bake them in the oven. You can get them from the pound shop, and I cut it into a shape. I really quite like the flower shapes there. That's not so good where I moved it, but again, if you wanted a really textured effect, that would be quite effective. Okay, let's work back into this pink one where I forgot to make an impression into it. Let's just pick up the ghost print, and that's what you call it when there's just some paint left on the gel plate, like the second pull from a plate. Again, that's quite interesting. Now I don't think I'll work into that anymore. I shall, when I get onto my other videos, I shall draw or collage or put something in that bit, because that looks interesting. This is a empty tub of some sort, biscuits or something, and I stuck craft foam to it. Some of the craft foam actually comes with sticky stuff on the back, so that was quite easy to do, and it's just really just random shapes, different textures, some with straight edges, some with jaggedy edges, however you'd call that. Try not to make it slip too much. Right, so that's just a print that I did yesterday. I think we're still going, I hope so. I'm going to roll onto that. I'll have a print onto that. You'll have to excuse me if I say the wrong words. I'm sure you know what I mean. That's not bad. Bit of a mess, maybe. Quite like this effect here. Now this is a piece of wallpaper. You know, you can pick up samples in it, but it's quite embossed. You can see I've used it before. It's got all sorts of colours on it. I did it like this so I could press hard onto the plate. So I'm just going to try to roll it once round. See what impression I get. Probably too many colours in there, but you can actually see the flower. Oh, you got the shadow of the foam. You can actually see it. Actually, that's giving some really good effects. So that's the book there, the notepad, and that's the little sparkly diamonds. That's quite nice. The letters are just a bit of a mess because I swatched them around. I didn't think the actual letters on there would show up, and they haven't. I'm quite pleased with the other effects I've got. So in some of my next videos that I make, I'm going to let's just pull this up on there, show how I use the papers. I've got so many ideas what I might do. I might look at each paper and see what they lend themselves to. Perhaps a landscape or something botanical, or perhaps a person, or and just work from there. I am really just experimenting and starting out, but this is a great way to make me do more art. I like that. I quite like the colour combination there of that bit. What else have we got? Some cookie cutters. I thought this might be interesting. So that's, if you can make that look like a flower if you do it enough. Eventually, perhaps. Well, that's quite nice. Who needs a flower stencil? Again, cookie cutter. I've got all sorts of shapes of these, little hexagons, and I bought them for making Fimo earrings, but I'll just show you these ones. It's just another idea. Now that looks quite nice as a feature. In fact, I think I got some of my best results before I started filming, just using the palette knife and scraping and moving the paint around. So that's probably something I should show here, which is that looks completely different to anything else that I've done since I started filming. And I quite like that. I'm going to use the rest of that up on that one, which isn't the best. I even quite like that. It's some of my favourite marks. This is the thing, you keep experimenting and eventually you'll find something that you think, right, that's the way I'm going to go with this. Okay, so here's my little palette knife. Well, there you go. I really like that. You've got texture coming through these spaces that I've left. I think that's quite effective. Very runny, the gold. I think I bought that in America. That's acrylic crafter's closet. That might have been from, is it called the dollar store? Perhaps it's why it's not very good. I think it might have been more than $1. Okay, let's go back to this one. The packaging, see if I can get... I don't think there is much there. I'll try the other side. If I jiggle it, I'll get slightly blurry holes. This is another wallpaper on a roller, a lint roller, textured. As you can see, I've used it. That wasn't the colour of the wallpaper. Well, the wooden flooring, the wavy lines are quite nice, and I think that came out when I turned it upside down onto the white side. So it's sort of a faint impression of some circle. These are for rolling into cake fondant, I think. I found these at Car Boot. They are by Clear Press Designer Roller, Do Crafts, Little Venice Cake Company. Instant embossed effect. So I've got a couple of different designs. One's got flowers and this is kind of swirly. Again, I got these for pressing into my Fimo when I was making some little earrings. I got quite a nice effect with it. So of course then. Working into some of these, yeah, those colours are really dull, but and that was a bit of a mess, and the paper's creased. But you can see where the cake, that's not a bad effect. And that, if you wanted that for like a brick effect, maybe again on a building or a net. Yeah, I'm not that keen on the string. I prefer more random, I think. That's one of my favourites today.